All right, guys. So I'm going to make a video about Semitic, the definition of it, and why a lot of people are angry at being called anti-Semitic. Okay, particularly Black people. Now, I want to make a quick disclosure. I do not speak for all Black people, and in no way this has anything to do with Kyrie Irving. Okay, because a lot of you are going to take this video and probably try to stitch it and say, "Hey, this point is made. This is what Kyrie is saying." This has nothing to do with Kyrie Irving because most of the people that are talking about Kyrie Irving have not even watched the damn movie, and they didn't even know about this movie until it was brought up by the media, and people still to this day have not watched that movie. So nobody really knows what the movie is saying for themselves. They're just running off what media is saying and reacting. I'm going to make a video based on my own research and dismiss what media is talking about and give you facts based on history, and then you can make a decision from there. So this video is really intended to address the issues of there are a group and segment of wealthy Jewish people who are in controls of certain aspects of business, and they are putting accusations on Black people with anti-Semitic when things are questioned. And then there are Black people who are getting this anti-Semitic label and they're rebuttaling, but then they end up apologizing. For the most part, most of them. So there's this conflict of what is Semitic. So let's look at the definition based on Oxford's dictionary, and you can look at Webster as well. It all says pretty much the same thing. Let's see what the definition of Semitic actually says. Okay, so relating to or denoting a family of languages that include Hebrew, Arabic, and Aramaic, and certain ancient languages such as Phoenician and Akkadian, constituting of the subgroup of the Afro-Asiatic family. Now, for you people that don't know, Asiatic/Asia is not talking about modern China or Japan today. Back then in old maps, Asia had a lot of different regions. So I suggest you research the old maps and see what regions Asia is talking about. It will look more primarily to the Middle East of today. All right. So historically speaking, since the transatlantic slave trade from the 16th century all the way up into modern times, what we call African American today, that was not the original term based on census. OK, back in the 16th century, people were just simply called slaves, and then it eventually would evolve into non-whites, colored, Negro. You know, they had all kind of terms, and people are under the impression that Jesse Jackson came in the 80s and demanded that we be called African American. However, the African American term in 1782 was actually used. If you go research the sermon on the capture of the Lord of Cornwallis, you can see that that term was used back in 1782, although it wasn't as common as it is today. Now, I say all this because when Black people are accused of being anti-Semitic, the question has been asked for decades and still to this day, how can Black people be anti-Semitic when they are perceived and the definition states that they are the original Semites? It's just a question that has yet to be unanswered, and they want answers.